Oh, jeez, he's right there.
This is the exact spot that I just...
Tonight, prepare yourself for a collection of camping videos that are so out of this world insane, they will leave you scratching your head, having you doubt what you've ever known to be true. Not only that, but this selection of carefully curated videos will have you questioning if you ever want to go camping again. Run for your life. If you have camping plans in the near future, there's a good chance this next video will have you booking a hotel instead. If you're planning to be alone while watching this, consider calling a friend or turning on a light before proceeding, because things are about to take an odd turn. Somewhere, deep in the heart of a Siberian forest, a man is setting up camp, ready for a weekend of peace and tranquility. As the night turns its darkest shade of black, things start to get, well, really strange. The man starts to hear incredibly strange noises coming from all around him. At first, it sounds like a woman crying for help, and then it sounds as though 2 or 3 people are engaged in a verbal altercation of some kind. Then, some strange moaning and howling begins. For whatever reason, the man decides to explore these sounds further, going deeper and deeper into the forest. The man stops and hears branches breaking not too far away, as if he is being followed. That's when a strange, eerie laugh begins to sound around him, with further sounds of walking growing closer and closer. The man stops for a moment, pauses, and his pause is interrupted by violent gunshots sounding ahead of him. The man drops to the ground. Waits for upwards of an hour, and decides to abandon his campsite in fear of his safety. What would you do in a situation like this? When would you decide enough is enough? Campsite from hell. There's really no getting around how weird this next one is. There are some clips that just stay with you for a while, some that you just can't shake, and this next one will certainly be that for some. There's no doubt about it. With that out of the way, let's begin. Our clip begins with a man in his tent, already unsettled by the stiff, arid air around him. The densely wooded area is hundreds of miles away from any city or town, so it's easy to say it's just him, all alone in the deep, dark woods. The man begins to prepare himself dinner, ready to enjoy the still, peaceful quiet of the evening, and he is completely unaware of just how dastardly things are about to get. The first sign of strangeness is his water bottle tips over on its own accord. Then, his backpack also tips over too, but that's not even the worst of it. The man is clearly unsettled by this, but manages to regain his composure. That is, until he starts to hear laughing somewhere in the distance. He shakes it off and continues to prepare dinner, but sometime later, directly above the campsite in the tree line, a strange creature can be seen, looking as if it somehow manifested itself out of nowhere. The creature can be seen moving, rocking back and forth, and it moves the tree right along with it. Many commenters say this is Abu Gogo, an Indonesian cryptid who is always looking for food. Whatever it is, it's definitely not something you'd ever want to come face to face with. Danger unknown. Every video you'll see in this compilation is going to further convince you to give up nature exploring altogether. But this one might truly take the cake. There are truly no words for what was captured here on camera, that's for sure. The setup is a familiar one. A couple of friends escaping the city for a weekend of peace and bliss. You know, the typical scenario. But these trips have a way of ending really badly, and this one is certainly no different. It's nighttime again, and the people are getting ready to go to bed when they hear some strange noises outside. They believe it to be a person in trouble, so naturally, they're inclined to help. So they leave the tent and follow the sounds, hoping to bring aid to someone who seems to be in desperate need. But as soon as they get to a clearing, the noises cease altogether, and then begins the sound of branches breaking around them, something no camping person really truly ever wants to hear. They move further in, and that's when they spot it. A human or creature appears to their right from behind the massive trees. It looks as if someone is wearing a mask, though it's hard to tell exactly. The thing stops, cocks its head, and then quickly moves away, as if they are startled by seeing others. The two friends race back to the campsite, naturally attempting to get away from whatever they just saw. Before they make it back though, a loud, terrifying howl can be heard in the distance, and then the video abruptly ends. Axeman. Buckle up, things are about to take a turn for the worst. The following video contains one of the most heart-pounding, anxiety-inducing situations ever caught on camera before. So please, be prepared. And most importantly, stay calm. Because by the time it ends, you won't know what hit you. The video sort of throws you into the action immediately, where we first see a man stumble across what looks like a makeshift enclosure made of branches, looking like something straight out of the Blair Witch Project. There's various items strewn about, and it becomes clear very immediately that someone is indeed living, or at least taking refuge there. He picks up a piece of paper from the campsite and finds a bunch of strange numbers crossed out and underlined in a very nonsensical fashion.
What in the hell?
The second he puts the paper down, things immediately get very, very freaky. Someone immediately starts making a laughing or grunting noise far off in the distance. The noises stop, and there isn't any sign of anyone, so the man continues onward towards the noise for whatever reason. As he continues further, the noise begins again, and you see a man emerge from far ahead, watching him.
Oh, jeez, he's right there.
He immediately switches to night vision and sits in the darkness, attempting to hide himself from the man who is walking closer and closer back to his so-called camp. The man is dressed in a poncho and his face is concealed, but he behaves very erratically, as if he is not of sound mind or body. He lets out another sort of grunt or growl as he makes his way through the darkness until it is revealed that the man is brandishing an axe. He continues to make these strange, guttural noises as the man recording begins to understand that his life might be in immediate danger. The man decides he needs to leave, and so he does, running quickly for his life. He runs fast into a clearing, realizing he's outrun him, and he stops to catch his breath. But it isn't before long that the man appears again, making one final guttural scream before the video cuts out. So, what do you make of this? Just some staged encounter? Or did this man really stumble across this Axeman? Let us know down below.
What in the hell? Oh, jeez, he's right there.
Figure unknown. Droning is supposed to be fun, right? It's supposed to be a high-energy activity for piloting and exploring, not catching crazy stuff on video, right? Well, in the case of this next video, you'd be wrong, because this drone manages to capture some of the weirdest footage out there. The footage begins from an eagle-eye view, soaring high through the sky over a large expanse of trees. The person piloting the drone is capturing some footage for a commercial he's about to edit, and he's hoping for a get in and get out type of situation. That is, until he manages to see something a little, well, odd. The drone screen shows some sort of white mass standing in the trees below. Curiosity gets the better of them, so they drive the drone to take a closer look, and what it picks up is not what you'd expect. The drone reveals some sort of woman or figure dressed entirely in white with long black hair. The face is obscured from view, but it's definitely something, definitely a figure. The figure moves as the drone gets closer, doing some sort of odd movement with its hands as the drone whizzes past. What is the woman doing all alone in the woods, wearing what's looking like a wedding dress of some kind? Whatever the story, count us out on the details. Cryptid Creeper. There's something about your entire background being such a deep and expansive forest that's so deeply unsettling, and the next video will make you want to avoid any kind of collection of trees for the rest of your life. The following video is quick, sure, but the evidence is just jaw-dropping. There's no doubt about that. Watch. The video begins with a man explaining how there's something strange happening in his backyard the other night, where he saw some sort of strange, staccato movement happening not too far away from the house. It caused such a commotion that he was able to see it from the kitchen window, and it definitely made him lose sleep the night before.
A wild dog. That was a huge ass wild dog. That too.
Just as he's videoing his explanation of where he saw the figure from the night before, a new figure decides to introduce itself, coming right out of nowhere and stumbling fast across the screen.
This is the exact spot that I just...
If there was ever a sighting of a cryptid, this one is it, as it looks almost lichen in appearance, with exceptionally long arms and long, bony legs. It's absolutely terrifying, whatever it is. This, unfortunately, is the only video that account has ever posted, so there's no suitable closure. You'll just have to try to take comfort that we exist in a world with whatever that was.
A wild dog. That was a huge ass wild dog. This is the exact spot that I just